Shout out again to all those people who hate my guts, but is sitting in a quiet place listening to my show. You are obsessed again.
What's good, gang? Welcome back to another show with August with the Shade. Now let's go ahead and get into some tea. Now we got to talk the presidential election and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we got to talk Kamala Harris as the vice president attempting to leverage the hip-hop influence to secure voters, but it ultimately loses to Trump because of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, let's get into it. Now, I want to get into a couple of key points that I wrote down in regards to this presidential election. And I first off want to say that shout out to all of the women, because I really did want to see, a woman president once in my life. You know what I'm saying? Just so that we can have it as history. But it is okay because this is not the first and it won't be the last. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, this is, you can dust yourself off and definitely try again in 4 years. Okay, it's no shade. But let's talk about everything that I wrote down for, just my observation in watching the whole election. Okay, so I want to just start off with my first key point with number one, misalignment with core values. Now, if I feel like Harris's campaign relied heavily on hip hop culture, like people like Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, who literally went on stage and made a fool of herself. You know what I'm saying? And even Megan Thee Stallion, who was literally on stage dancing, singing a song that nobody even knew. And then you had Glorilla, who was singing TGIF at a rally. Like, it was really crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. Sometimes when male hip hop rappers, when they are performing at certain, events like this, they're singing uplifting songs. And if you girls have those uplifting songs, those are the songs that you should have chose. You should have not, tried to literally, promote your new songs on as a rally, because this is people's real life. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows that you guys did it for the money, in my opinion. Okay, so I also feel like voters perceived her efforts as inauthentic. I feel like her commitment issues, like she didn't really talk about things that really could help these girls and help these men. And I really wanted her to have a chance to do that. You know what I'm saying? But also I want to get into number two, the backlash from traditional voters. Now, while hip hop can mobilize young voters and may also alienate more traditional conservative voters, I feel like if Kamala's strategy was seen overly forced with the hip hop culture, I think that's why a lot of them stepped back. It also resulted in backlash from those who prefer her as a more conventional political speaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think that a lot of things happen. Like, I feel like a lot of people backed out because they seen a lot of the hip hop influence, and I hate that sometimes because hip hop is a part of the culture, and whether we like it or not, it's going to be a part of a lot of things. But certain things we can't sit out. It's no shade. Okay. Now I want to get into my third key point, and my third key point is polarizing figures. Now, while artists like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion have significant influence, they can also be polarizing. Okay, if they were to make controversial statements, or if their lifestyles possibly get criticized, it could reflect negatively on the association with Kamala, like making her appear out of touch with voter concerns. And that is a lot of things that happened last night, guys. You just don't even understand. Like, you guys were on the internet literally like, oh, this is what's going to happen. You guys turned into the other side because you guys felt like that's what you needed to do. And I just don't feel like it should have been like that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what kind of leads me into my fourth key point is voter fatigue. Relying on celebrity endorsements can sometimes lead to voter fatigue. If Harris relied on such people like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, then that's why it happened like that. Even people like Beyonce, y'all, and Beyonce is loved by a lot of people, but is she loved when it comes to political parties? Like, is she loved when it comes to the electoral vote? Like, let's just be real. And I feel like that's why a lot of people did not go out and vote, because it felt like a concert. It felt like we were literally watching somebody try to win the Grammys or something. Like, I don't know. It was just different. It did not feel like a presidential election. Like, and I'm just being real. That's just my personal opinion. Now, also, I'm going to get into my last key point before I get into, as I wrap this up, cultural disconnect. Okay, y'all remember we seen Kamala talking about cooking greens and all of that type of stuff. That didn't move me. That's not something that moved me. Like, I'm not it's not about race to me. It's not about stuff like that. It's about who is here to make sure that we are safe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that either one of y'all was going to do that, just being real, but in my opinion, I just felt like that's why I just chose not to vote, because it was like, why would I go and do this if I do not feel strongly about either one of the candidates? Like, that's just my opinion. Like, I was so culturally disconnected from this election, and it's sad because throughout the years we had Obama, we had somebody that we was culturally connected to, but it does feel like we kind of lost that, and I want us to realize that it's not about that all the time. It's really about who's going to do the most for where you stay right now. Like, you need to be making sure that your governor is the one that is he needs to be the one that you go and vote for, because he is the one that's going to make those calls in your daily life, and that's just being real. Okay, so cultural disconnection was not like, I feel like we should have focused more on mayors and stuff like that, because they really matter and stuff like that. So I feel like that's why Kamala faced a lot of challenges in connecting with all segments of the hip-hop audience, okay? If her attempts to engage with the community was perceived as superficial or disconnected from the realities of their real lives, it could undermine her efforts to garner the support. And that's exactly what happened. People flew all out, and they even said that she didn't even come out and speak to them because I don't know. I mean, everybody don't want to lose, but I feel like this is just one of those things she can dust off and she can try again later. Just like Trump came and he lost the last presidential election and he won this one. The same thing can happen for Kamala. So guys, I don't think that you should be down or sad about anything. You guys did everything that you could. You guys all banded together. You guys became as a team, and you guys did what needed to be done. Nobody's a loser in this situation. So I feel like everybody should really take a step back from all of this stuff and all of this drama and realize that all of the negativity that brings. Start living your life again. Okay, now he's president. Okay, next let's move on. What are you gonna do? Open a business, go and do something different, because if you want to blame people like Cardi B and everybody else, you should, because they are the girls who literally came in and ruined this whole little thing for them. Megan Thee Stallion dancing and doing all of that, knowing that she was just put a man away, Tory Lanez, after lying in front of Gayle King. Why are we honeys for Harris? Girl, no, it's just not it. And then Glorilla, Cardi B with her, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. Guys, you embarrassed me. I was so embarrassed. Never ever let Cardi B speak for us again. And I say that for everybody in the comments. Do never let Cardi B speak for us again. And I'm not going to say that ever again, okay? Because that is the truth. And you see what happened with Bernie Sanders and everybody else that she spoke with. They're no longer here. Even her husband. But anyway, guys, I want to know what you guys think about this video. What do you think about my key points? What do you think about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B ruining the presidential election? And do you think that's so? Do you think it's because of the men? Do you think it's, what is it? Because, I've seen a lot of misogynistic comments on Twitter that was really, them going at black men and going at everybody because they felt like, they didn't go out and vote when they actually did, because here's the statistics. But anyway, you guys, can form your own opinion. Make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure that you leave a comment down below. And don't forget, if you want to send us a super love or anything like that, make sure you check out all the ways that you can do that, okay? Love you guys. Bye.
Not that serious. Trust me, I know that.
Oh, and before you go, make sure you check out these new videos, because y'all be bored. Go ahead. Bye, y'all.
Let's laugh together.
I'm number one. Y'all go argue over top 4.
I was thinking about y'all.